Ladies and gentlemen, Vincent Rotich of DCP was destined to win in Emurua Dikirr. But Rigathi Gachagua committed some 2 last-minute blunders that handed the win to David Keter of UDA. And any keen political observer should simply just look at the results. The UDA candidate won with 18,000, while the DCP candidate had 10,000. Remember, Emurua Dikirr is in Rift Valley, one of William Ruto's strongholds, which means the residents of Emurua Dikirr had confidence on their candidate, Vincent Rotich. But Rigathi Gachagua committed these 2 mistakes. The first mistake Rigathi Gachagua committed was that particular phone call during that particular campaign.
Alikuwa rafiki wangu wa karibu sana. Na mimi nataka niseme pole kwa kumpoteza kiongozi wenu. Kiongozi wa maana sana. Alikuwa mtetezi wa wanyonge. Aliangalia kina mama wajane. Akasaidia watoto yatima. Akatetea mashamba yenu. Mimi nataka niseme pole kwa kumpoteza kiongozi huyo wetu. Na mimi naomba Mungu siku moja mimi na nyinyi watu ya Emurua Dikirr tujue nani alimuua Johana Ng'eno na Emurua Dikirr hoye.
And the second blunder Rigathi Gachagua committed was very far away from Emurua Dikirr. It was in Nairobi when he made this speech.
Emurua Dikirr, Vincent Rotich is a self-driven guy. I've never been to Dikirr. I just talk on phone. But with the Kasongo men, we are neck to neck. And I can tell you as of this morning, because the campaign stopped yesterday, we are ahead. Yeah. All we need is to protect our vote. I'm told Mukomen has been told to go there to mobilize chiefs and assistant chiefs and Nyumbakumi to intimidate our voters. I want to ask the people of Emurua Dikirr not to be intimidated, to have the true blood and spirit of Johana Ng'eno, the late.
Because let's face it, Vincent Rotich's campaign was well received by the residents. They attended, they supported, and they showed up for him. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys how the 2 mistakes by Rigathi Gachagua handed William Ruto the victory. Before I do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or 2, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, there is something which should worry William Ruto. The fact that the DCP candidate can garner 10,000 votes in Emurua Dikirr should worry him. We are not talking of independent party. Rigathi Gachagua is a known anti-William Ruto's crusader. And the fact that the residents of Emurua Dikirr, 10,000 of them, could wake up very early in the morning, despite the intimidations, and then still vote for DCP candidate, William Ruto should not sleep. Something is wrong somewhere. Remember, in Narok, Rigathi Gachagua won just that day. But let me explain to you guys how the 2 mistakes delivered the victory to the UDA candidate. Number 1, It made the contest to be between William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua. If you go through the comments, let me just take you to what Rigathi Gachagua is saying. Even if you go to online, people are like, the DCP candidate got 10,000 and that's huge. Of course, that's huge. But why do you think he failed to win? Because instead of the contest being between Vincent Rotich and David Keter, it turned now to be a UDA versus DCP, Rigathi versus William Ruto. Let me read for you what Rigathi is posting here. Congratulations to the DCP candidate in the Emurua Dikirr by-elections, Honorable Vincent Rotich, for the splendid performance that has shaken South Rift politics, who for far too long, in fact for over 60 years, been left behind in independent Kenya. A score, and it's very specific, a score of 10,000 votes is no mean feat. And that's the truth. The truth is, this contest was between Vincent Rotich and David Keter. And of course, there was also kind of rebellion because there was a feeling that UDA had imposed David Keter, because there's this gentleman called Bulu. If you go through the comments here in this post, there's a gentleman who was also saying something here that those 10,000 votes were not party votes, but votes given to an individual candidate. That is the truth. If Rigathi Gachagua had not made that call, if he had not made that speech, the truth is, this guy might have won. And personally, I like giving the case of a gentleman called Shakil, member of parliament for Kisumu East, who was won as independent in an ODM stronghold for 2 terms. Is it 2 or 3 terms? The truth is, he has won on those 2 terms by making the contest between him as Shabir and the opponents. He has always avoided a situation where the contest becomes between Shabir and ODM. And that's how he has always been able to win. Rotich was very strong. The contest was between Rotich and Keter. The moment Rigathi showed up and she stamped William Ruto's allies, and even Rotich supporters who are in UDA were like, okay, now this is now not about Rotich and Keter, it's now Ruto and Rigathi, number 1. Number 2, the moment now Rigathi Gachagua expressed that confidence, the eyes of William Ruto and his allies were opened. It was an eye-opener for them. They realized that, if you joke around, this seat is going to go. And if it goes, we are going to be in a deep problem. That's when now they activated the ground. They sealed all the loopholes, because anybody who followed that campaign, there were serious loopholes. There is no way the DCP candidate could attract such kind of huge rallies. Not just rallies, there was something special about his campaigns. The women. Women normally are the real voters. Forget about border guys, those can't be paid. But when women turn up in large numbers for your rallies, there is something. So I think the moment these guys realized the mistake, then they went now to the ground and even mobilized. Remember, William Ruto did something in the last election which very few political players did. He had a network, which he still has, at the ground. So William Ruto can easily come to Kisumu and just activate that network, and you'll see people. So I think they went and activated that because now they saw real threat the moment Rigathi Gachagua showed up his face. Let me ask you, assuming the DCP candidate had won today, how would it be the ground? Number 3, because of that blunder, the system now deployed what I can call the fear tactic. A day before this by-election, what happened? You saw the police everywhere for no reason. That was to create fear, and not on UDA supporters. The fear was targeting the DCP, so that, you know, when you mtu wa DCP umeona police, then you are like, hey, to create apathy. And importantly, even yesterday, there were blackout. Why do you think those blackout? At some point, why do you think blackout was created? If you know, you know. Blackout was created to create fear that these guys were going to steal. So in that case, you don't turn up to vote. And importantly, William Ruto and his team then now deployed last-minute campaign strategy. Because remember, William Ruto is the president, he has intelligence. So he knew that Rotich was winning because of A, B, C, D. If we did this and this and this, then probably we could avoid. But the truth of the matter is that the fact that this guy garnered 10,000 votes is something which Rigathi Gachagua and his team should actually celebrate. We are now headed to Olkalau. Let us wait and see how the turnout and how the voting in Olkalau will turn out. Because I've seen William Ruto has assigned Moses Kuria likely to chair that campaign. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.